Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about inheritance in Python. So without further ado, let's get into it. So you might ask, what is a inheritance really? So inheritance allows us to define a class that inherits all the methods and properties from the another class. So the parent class is the class being the inherited from, which is also called as a base class. And the child class is the class that inherits from the another class, which is also called as a derived class. So you will get better understanding while we actually create a parent class and a child class. So for creating a parent class, it is a similar procedure, so the syntax will be similar as creating any other classes. So to create a class that inherits the functionality from the another class, we just have to send the parent class as a parameter when creating the child class. Let me show you how to create a parent class first, and then we will go to the child class. So this is a Python command line. So for this example, let me create one parent class which is named customer. So in this example, we will create a class named customer with its first name and last name as a properties and the print method. So for creating one class, you have to give the class and the class name. So in this case will be customer. Give the colon. As you can see, we have created one class. So now let me create the init function to input the properties. So for this, as it is a function, we have to use the def keyword to define a function, init, and the properties. So as you already aware, the first properties will be the self parameter. So you can give any name for the self parameter, but in this case we will give like self, the first name and the last name, which will be the properties. So f name, comma, l name, which is the first name and last name. So these are our properties. After giving colon, as you can see, we are in the init function now. So give the indentation and use the similar syntax that we have discussed in our previous lectures. So self dot first name will be equal to the f name and self dot last name equal to the l name. So what is the significance of a self parameter that we have seen in our previous lecture? So after hitting enter, and now let me create one method called as a print name. So for that, use the define and the name, which is a print name, and we will pass self parameter in it. Give the colon, and now we will print our first name and the last name. So just print self dot first name, comma, self dot last name. After hitting enter, as you can see, we have created one parent class named as a customer with the first name and last name as a properties and the print name method. So now we will create one object named x, which equals to the class name, which will be the customer, and we will pass the values for first name and last name. So the first name will be Jack and the last name. So let me print the method, which is a print name. So x dot print name. As you can see, we are getting the output as a first name and the last name, which we have passed in the previous step. So as you can see, we have created the parent class, which has a similar syntax as creating the any other classes, which we have seen in the previous lectures. So for creating the child class, so now we will create our child class, which will be named person, which will inherit the properties and the methods from the customer class that we have created just now. So for creating a class, just follow the same syntax, class, and now we have to create the new class, which will be named person, and in bracket give the parent class name, which is a customer. So this is how you create the child class. So now we will use the pass statement if you don't want to add any other properties or method to the class. So now the person class has the same properties and the methods as of the customer class. For example, we will use the person class to create an object and then execute our print name method that we have created earlier. So to do that, just give the object name, which is x, equal to the class name, which is person, and in bracket pass the values for first name and last name. and now we will print the result as object name dot the method, which is a print name, x dot print name round braces. As you can see, we have created the object x and used the person class and then executed the print name method, as you can see in this example. So far we have seen what is a inheritance in Python and what is its significance. We have seen how to create a parent class and a child class that will inherit the functionality from the another class, which is a parent class. Our next topic is how to add the init function. So if we want to add the init function to the child class instead of the pass keyword. So when we add the init function, as we have seen in this example, when we add the init function, the child class will no longer inherit the parent's init function. So the child init function overrides the inheritance from the parent's init function. So in this example, we have successfully added the init function and kept the inheritance of the parent class. And we are ready to add the functionality in the init function. So that's it for today. I hope you like my video. So please subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell to get the latest updates.